Now, I don't know how you do your time, but I know how I do mine. And it's sad to say, but I'm not looking for no new friends. You get what I'm saying? I'm not trying to meet new people that are cool. And I'm not trying to gain no problems and enemies either. But hey, you never know what's in store when you find yourself locked up and it's time for the meet and greet. So let's talk about it.
I'm the best. Finna be this way till I EOS. Take it how you want, nigga. Yeah, I'm a pro. Fuck around and bust your lot while you're at Vizzo. I hate to be this way, but I live for the moment. Waking up every day, show me an opponent. Shanks on deck, hitting bitch with locks. So much pool, I can even start you from the box. You don't wanna pay rent, got me bent. Got lax on deck, your money was well spent. Vultures on the prowl, so don't try testing. Step 2 comes violent, first steps finessing. You a hold down man, suitcase this. My cell phone, I'm a charger, don't walk with a limp. Get it knocked off or missing, you gon' get it. Next time I see your ass, you gon' leave airlifted.
What's up, y'all? You already know, man. K-Frog TV back in the building. Y'all go ahead and do me that solid favor, man. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe button. And also make sure you hit that notification bell so you can see it first. Welcome back to the channel, y'all. My name's K-Frog, and everything I talk about over here has to do with jail or prison. I want people to know what to expect if they ever find themselves on the other side of that gate and in harm's way. All right, for this video here, I'm going to be talking about how it is, you know, when you first find yourself getting locked up, how people are when you first get in there, okay? And what I mean by that is, this is a topic I feel like a lot of more people should address and should talk about, you know? It isn't just one way when you find yourself locked up. You know, like, people aren't just friendly, and people aren't just dangerous and mean. You get what I'm saying? It's all on you. You feel me? When you get put in that, you know, place, and you find yourself around certain individuals, everybody's bid is going to be different, okay? Now, what I mean by that is, when you find yourself locked up, you're going to have some people that come up to you, and they're going to try to be friendly. You know, they're going to be like, what up, bro? Where you from, bro? Nice to meet you. My name's such and such. You feel me? Or what up, homie? Where you from, dog? You know, or what's up, bro? Nice to meet you. It's all on you if you're going to accept that. It's all on you if you want, you know, to be somebody that's, you know, friendly. Or if you want to accept somebody that comes at you friendly. You feel me? It's all on you how you carry yourself. You're also going to find individuals who are going to do the complete opposite. Who are going to just walk in there and look at you. You know, you're new, you come in, you got your property, you know, you're in your bag, and when you walk in there, you got some people that are going to just straight up mug you up and down. You feel me? That is not going to be friendly. Then you got some people that are going to approach you and be straight flaw, crooked. You know, come up to you and be like, oh, what's up, homeboy? What you doing in my dorm? Da, da, da. Oh, you gangbang? Oh, what's up, bro? Oh, I like what you got on, bro. What size that outfit is? What size them blues is? Oh, you get money, bro? What's up, bro? You got to pay rent to live here. See, so you got different strategies when it comes to different people when you're locked up. You see what I'm saying? So it isn't just one. You know, you can't think, if you've been to prison before and your whole bid, everywhere you went, everybody was nice, you know? You shouldn't get out and tell people prison isn't that bad, it's nice, you know? Everywhere I went, nobody tried me, everybody was nice, you know? Everybody was cool. Everywhere I went, yada, yada, yada. Because you just got the luck of the draw out of a raffle. Oh, he's gonna get sent to a blessing, a place where it's a blessing, you feel me? So you can't just go off that and spread the word. You need to let people know all angles, you know what I'm saying? The good, the bad, and the ugly. Because I've seen all of it. I've been to institutions when I first walked in, people were flawed. People were, you know, trying to be mean to me. You know what I'm saying? Off rip. And that kind of like, me seeing that first, you know, made it to where in my mind, I know that could happen. I know that exists. So everywhere I went after that, when people would try to be friendly off rip and try to be good people, I didn't know how to accept it. I was against it because I seen the bad way first. You feel me? Now, it would have been different if I went to an institution where people were nice off rip. Everywhere I went, nice, 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 nice. And then all of a sudden, curveball gets thrown in there and I land in a place where people were trying to press me off rip. You know what I'm saying? Then I'll be like, you know, it'll be like shocking because it was never like this. But I ended up landing in the damn belly of the beast off rip. So by me landing there and seeing that, it made it to where it was hard for me to accept when people were being nice at another institution. I ended up being the flawed one. I ended up being the one like, man, I ain't friendly, bro. I don't know what you got going on, bro, but kick rocks. You know what I'm saying? I don't even want to rap, bro. I ain't got no, see, I didn't want to accept friends because I done seen some slime crooked shit already. So it made it to where it was hard for me to accept, you know, people that were probably good people compared to, you know, me judging them as a messed up, flawed, snake individual. You see? But it's all on you. It's all on how you want to do your bid, okay? And the reason I say this is because if you find yourself locked up and everybody's nice, right? So you're like, yeah, you know, they're nice, so I'm gonna be nice. You know, what up, bro? What your name is? Bro, my name's Matt. Oh, okay, my name's Frog, bro. What's good with you? Oh, shit, just coolin'. Da-da-da-da-da. Oh, what your name is, bro? My name's Alex. Oh, okay, yeah, my name's Frog. Oh, okay, yeah, what's up, bro? Da-da-da-da-da. Other people on the outside looking in look at that. And they don't like friendly people. I'm talking about the flaws, the snakes, the grimy ones. Everybody sees, you know, from the outside looking in, that, you know, they don't care about the other person that's being friendly to you. They might know he's friendly, you know, and they might have accepted him and just, he might be doing this. This might be part of their program. You know, you might land in a dorm and a person come try to be friendly with you just to, you know, feel you out and read you, while really people on the outside who's involved in the whole setup is just sit back observing to see how you react. You see what I'm saying? And people don't like that friendly shit. The more friendlier you are off the rip, the easier people feel like they got you figured out, and they can, you know, kind of guess and have an idea how you're going to react about certain situations. They could kind of feel like they know you now. They got you figured out already, how friendly you are. Friendly is a big no-no in prison. You get what I'm saying? I'm not saying go in there and just start drama with everybody you see, you know, but think before you respond. You know, you don't want people to figure you out. You know, the easier to stay out of harm's way is the longer it takes people to kind of figure you out, or they know you're real and they know you're solid and they know that you ain't no peon and you ain't scary and you got heart. You know, the sooner they know that, or the longer it takes them to figure you out. You feel me? Those things is going to make it to where how your bid goes. You see? So it's really all on you, like I say, if you want to have people be friendly to you all the time and you accept it, you know. But I feel like that's bad, you know, because the institutions I was at, we would literally like dwell on people that we seen come in the institution and get put in orientation dorm. We would see them all come in and we'd look out the window. You know, we'd say little slick things to him out the window. Oh, I want him right there. Oh, I want him. Oh, what you looking at? You know, we would kind of like plant a seed. That's what prison's all about. Planting seeds, a tree will grow. You say something to somebody now, or somebody says something to you, it came from somewhere. If somebody does something, there's something behind that. You feel me? Anything somebody says, there's something behind that. You feel me? You could be walking in the chow hall line and someone bump into you never met before. Boom. You feel me? That came from somewhere. He could have been talking to somebody about you and they'd be like, oh, there he goes right there, bro. I'm gonna test him out. And then they bump into you or cut you in line. These things come from somewhere, okay? So when people would be walking by in that orientation dorm, we'd be hollering out the window, oh, I want him right there. That who I want right there. Yeah, you, bro, what you looking over here for? You know, and it would blow your mind how many people would try to act cool. You know, they'd be walking all scary, and then when you say something, they try to change their swag and they go to rapping back at the window. Man, we used to love that, because for the first week or two, they don't come out with us. We never see them, only when they walk by our dorm. They don't come to rec with us. They don't go to chow with us. They don't come to the school building with us. They're like their own little group of inmates. So they think that this is what prison's like. You know, they feel like they're gonna always be away from us. But in a week or two, after they do the whole orientation thing, next thing you know, they give them a job, which you go to ICT and you get your job, then they throw you out there on the compound. They break that dorm down. That dorm is just an orientation dorm. Then after they get their job, they break them boys down and scatter them across the compound. Which means some of them who were talking crazy and thinking they were cool, trying to fire back at the window, 9 times out of 10 are gonna land in our dorm. You see what I'm saying? So we've been waiting. You know, we've been waiting like clockwork. We know what day the bus comes. That means there's going to be more orientation people. We know what day they're going to do the ICT to break down the dorms to put people in our... So the same people who they were hanging out with in there, that they felt like they could be cool around, you know, or anybody that, you know, united with and became dogs and got their own little circle, they might not even get put in the same dorm together. You see? You know, and the next thing you know, when they come in our dorm, you know, that was the tactic. That's how it goes. You know, it's like first steps, you know, finessing, and the second step's violence. You see what I'm saying? Like I say on the song Chain Gang Robbery, which is the same song that I use on the intro. Literally, people will come up to you being friendly first. You feel me? And they ain't got to technically ask you for nothing. You know, they could just be nice to you to where you fall for the okie doke thinking they're your friend, that they're cool because they've greeted you right from day one since you came to this dorm or this prison. And then before you know it, you think that they're your dogs. So now when you buy something to eat, you might buy them something to eat. You feel me? There might be deals. People are selling things and you might get two of them, one for you and your dog, you know. And little do you know, they don't fuck with you like that. That was their finesse tactic. See, they got your mind hit a switch, boom, boom. And with that switch, it makes it to where it's like, you know, at the end of the day, you're kind of like, should I, you know, be a good dog and just, you know, spend bread on my homeboy when he ain't even asking me to? That's how I know he ain't using me for nothing. But in all reality, that was a finesse tactic. That's how people do it in prison. That's what you got to be aware of. You know what I'm saying? They play that friendly role when you first get there just to get what they want. Then you got the other people who just come straight, try you, straight want that, let me get that, try to put down, drop a canteen bag on your bed. And man, hey man, you dropped this. I ain't dropped shit. You know what time it is. You go fill that shit up when you hit that canteen window. You know, you got people that greet completely different. You see what I'm saying? And it's all on you how you carry it. You know what I'm saying? If someone comes at you friendly and you respond, you know, violently or mean, you know, that's gonna put a mission, you know, a message out to everybody else in the dorm. You feel me? It could also come back to bite you in the ass though. You feel me? Because that person might have so much respect and he might be part of an organization or he might be involved with a clique that sent him at you like that. So you gotta just be yourself though. You know what I'm saying? If you really ain't about that action, don't act like you about that action. That's simple. If someone comes at you friendly and you're not about that action, do not be responding to them like you about that action. You feel me? It's sorry to say it, you're gonna just have to be yourself. And if yourself is friendly and that's what you want to do when people come greet you for the first time and you throw the friendliness out there, hey, people might be cool with you after that, but no one respects you. You get what I'm saying? That's the thing. You feel me? Is you can make it through your whole prison bid like a lot of YouTubers have. You can make it through your whole prison bid, right? And nobody messed with you, right? And everybody was cool with you, you thought, right? But nobody respected you. See, it's a difference when you want people to respect you. Them respecting you is a totally different feeling than just getting by. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're just getting by, that means at any moment, people could try to take your shit, could try to put down on you, could try you, disrespect you. You see what I'm saying? I did my bid to where I wanted people to respect me. You know, like I wasn't going out of my way to try to earn respect. But the way I do my bid and the way I do my time, it kind of came with it. You know, the respect came because I was getting in shit. I was involved in things, you know, and I was unaffiliated. You feel me? That's what made it to where regardless, people respect that about me. You feel me? And I'm white going through this type of stuff, you know, and anytime someone came at me when I was locked up, whether they were friendly, whether they were, you know, mean, whether they were violent, whether they were flawed, I handled the situation the perfect way, and I always will. You see what I'm saying? People come up to me trying to talk that rah-rah, you know, I'll go back and forth with them. You know, like I told y'all when I first got locked up, and the dude came up to me and was like, oh, this gangland, bro. You got to either pray run or check in, you know, or leave. And I started laughing. And he's like, oh, you think this is funny? Feel me? And I said, nah, you know, but I fight. You know what I'm saying? I fight. You feel me? And then he was like, oh, so what that mean? I'm like, it's whatever. And we ended up getting into it. You feel me? But that's my real personality. I really, really started giggling, laughing when he told me this. You know, like hearing it from him telling me this, I didn't look at him like no threat. I didn't respect him. You feel me? So when he said it to me, I couldn't help but to chuckle. Oh, you think it's funny? And I didn't think it was funny, but it did make me chuckle. You feel me? So that's why I was like, nah, you feel me? But I fight. I got straight to it because I'm not going to go back and forth. I'm not going to even let you say anything else that could, you know, plant a seed in my head. Like, I'm not going to let you threaten me. I'm not going to get to the point where you talk this rah-rah and threaten what you're going to do and all this other shit. So I just straight up got straight to it. I said, but I fight. And then when I said that, he was like, oh, you say, who you know? You feel me? He started saying, like, who do I know? And I said, what you mean, who do I know? And then he started asking me, who do I know on the compound? He thought I was a white boy that just came, like, fresh off the bus. But really, I had just came out of confinement. You feel me? So then I said, what do you mean? He's like, who do you know on the compound? I said, shit, I know a bunch of people. And then he said, who? And then next thing you know, I just started naming people. And then he was like, man, and then he went and got on the window and said, hey, YG. He says, hey man, there's a white boy in here saying he know you. And my dog walking, it was sunny out, I'll never forget. He was walking, he stops and he goes, is it Frog? Just like that. And he goes, man, what they call you? I said, Frog. And then I went and got on the window right next to him and said, what's up, hey YG boy, I'm about to bust this shit. I'm about to bust this shit right now. On the same window he was yelling out with the bars, I got on the window right next to him and said, I'm about to bust this shit. And my dog told me, dog, don't do it, dog, don't do it. Don't do it. Next thing you know, my dog's brothers come in there squatted. What's up, Frog boy, you got problems? I said, yeah, I want to head over such and such. Right there, him, right there. I want to head up. Them boys respected me that that squad came in there. You feel me? Them boys came in there to, you know, make sure Frog get him a head up. Bro ain't want to bump then. You thought I was just some regular white boy. Man, I've been putting in work. You feel me? I've been getting into shit with people. Just, I went to confinement for a little while. So when I went to confinement, you know, the compound rotates. People are getting transferred and shipped. People are getting stabbed and airlifted. You know, just the whole, so by the time I got out of the box, I only did 60 days that time. But by the time I got out, you know, it was rotated in certain places. And before I was in C-Dorm. This time they put me in G-Dorm, or gangland. And so bro thought, you know, he thought shit was sweet. And I just came from a dorm months ago where the only people that was getting into shit was me and my squad. So now I get put in a dorm and there's other people acting like they get into shit. You feel me? Which they do. Gangland was where it was at. You know, it was ratchet. But still, it was the way he came at me. He greeted me totally different. You see what I'm saying? He came at me with that rah-rah. Not knowing the institution I was at before that. Before I landed at this institution in the first place, the institution I was at before that, it was, oh, what's up, bro? Tighten up, bro. You new here? Tighten up. You feel me? Oh, you came from down south? You got to pay rent. You got me fucked up. You see, like, that's how it was. I literally went through, like, the trenches of so many places by the time I got there. That's what made me get along with my dogs, my dog YG and them in the first place. The same one he was hollering at out through the window. Is because when I landed there, I wasn't friendly and I was down for whatever. Anybody came to talk to me, I wanted to fight them. Just because win, lose, or draw, I'm not the most bumping person. There's people that can whoop me and kick my ass, you know, but it was just, I felt like at the end of the day, it's going to lead to that anyway, so why not just get to it, though? Straight up. That's, you know, and that made it to where people respected me. You feel me? And it made it to where people who would have came at me friendly had second guesses about even approaching me in the first place. You know, they would like decide to like, you know, they'd watch from a distance. They wouldn't come up to me trying to be as friendly, looking for a friend. You feel me? Because you don't know who these people are. When they greet you, when someone's nice, when someone's, you know, cool with you when you first get there, you don't know this person. He might sleep with boys. He might be a thief. He might have HIV. You don't know anything about him. You feel me? He might steal shit. You know, you don't know nothing about him. So when he comes and he tries to friend you, everybody who don't even mess with him or everybody who knows about him already is just sit back and observe it. And if you start talking to him, being friendly with him, look, he's friendly with the punk. He's friendly with a dude that sleep with boys. He must sleep with boys too. See, you don't know nothing about nobody in there. That's why it's dangerous just accepting a friendship. Or accepting someone being cool with you. Sometimes you gotta draw that shit, you know what I'm saying? I told this in a video a long time ago when I first landed at one institution and I was sitting there eating in the chow hall. It was my first few days there. And I seen this dude looking at me from like 4 or 5 tables over. You feel me? Look like a, you know, like a, He was a black dude. He had the chomo glasses on. That's what they call them, the big old lenses. And I kept seeing him go like this. Just like that. Like he kept looking around all the other tables, like at me. You feel me? So now I'm wondering if he's really looking at me, dog. He's like 4 tables back. You feel me? I see him. You know, next thing you know, I get up. Once I get up to go to dump my tray, he go to dump his tray. You see? So now I'm like, oh yeah, he's definitely, you feel me? I didn't know what he was gonna say. He came up and he was like, damn, home team, what part of Broward you from? Because he seen on my name tag, I had an L for Lauderdale. You feel me? Because your name tag ain't got just, you know, like it ain't got just numbers. It's got like a digit in the front and it'll show where you're from. Like L and B is Lauderdale or Broward. You feel me? And then you got M for Miami and stuff like that. And he came up to me and was like, damn, Lauderdale, what part of Lauderdale you from? Trying to just, you know, kick it. I didn't know what his intentions was at all, and I didn't give a shit where he was from in Lauderdale or nothing. But my first thing I told him was a part where we ain't friendly. And he's like, damn, and I just kept it pushing. That's it, bro. I ain't friendly, bro. You ain't finna, you know, come at me like that. And the next thing you know, he never came at me like that again. You feel me? I'd see him throughout the months and stuff. Found out he was a booty bandit. Found out he was, you know, taking people's culo. You see what I'm saying? Straight up, you know, and I shut that shit down off rip. And then once I started getting into shit in prison, like, you know, every time you see the guards running 6-7 deep to a dorm and a stabbing took place and stuff like that, you see, if it ain't me involved, it's in the dorm I'm in. You know, so before you know it, you see the people I'm associated with, the people I'm walking around with, the things I done got into. You see me getting brought back and forth from confinement to the over and over again, different things. So after a while, he ain't never approached me again. You feel me? But I found out later on he was a bandit. You feel me? He was known to prowl on the new weak people. That was his tactic, because they're new, they don't know what to expect, you know, and he's got one up on them because they don't know nothing about prison, so he could play the friend role. You know, and then literally months later, I seen he had like a boyfriend, which was a dude I seen come in new. Next thing you know, he's with him every day. He's got him. Boom, he done reeled him one in. And then months later, he's got a different one. That was his tactic, you feel me? But I shut that shit down because I'm not friendly, you see? So it's all on you how you do your time. If you're gonna let it slide, then you let it slide. If you're gonna accept the friendliness, then you accept the friendliness, you know? People are gonna try to give you shit and all. You feel me? They'll come in there and be like, what up, bro? You look like you know you ain't ate in a while, dog. Here you go, bro. Let me give you a couple soup stops. Get back to me when you hit the canteen window. You know, and you're thinking like, shit, I ain't ate. You're like, bet that up, bro. Ain't none of that. Nah, I'm good, bro. I don't want none of that. Nah, bro, I'm just trying to. That's cool, dog. I appreciate it, bro. Thank you. You feel me? But you ain't gonna get me in debt with you. Because a lot of people be wanting back in return something totally different. You feel me? So it's all onto you, man, how you deal with the people when you meet and greet them. If you're going to accept the friendliness, or if you're going to accept the flawedness, or you're going to accept the violentness, the meanness, it's all on you. That's why I wanted to come on here and talk about it. You feel me? A lot of people, I feel like, don't speak on this. A lot of people try to talk like if the chain gang's one way. Like if it's all friendly, it ain't true about what you hear about the violent stuff. Or if it's all violent, there's no friendliness involved in it. And I'm here to tell you that it is all of that. You get what I'm saying? But that's all I got for y'all today, man. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Y'all let me know in the comment section what you would do in that situation. Or if you were locked up before and people came to you friendly or came to you violently, how did you handle the situation? The comments go a long way. Everybody loves to read them. I love reading them because I love to hear people's experiences other than mine. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I got. I appreciate y'all tuning in. And like I always say, make sure you keep them rats, squares, clowns, chomos, pedos, gunners, wannabe island boys, and clout chasers out your circle. And until next time, this is the one and only. I am my team, Frog.